Hey guys, so today I'm very excited to talk about this Vertx Gamut 18-liter sling. We've had this for about 3 months now, and I've been using this almost exclusively. I do have a lot of different bags, but this one has kind of won my heart. And honestly, I think it's one of the best bags on the market. I want to go into deep details of why and really tell you all about this bag. So to give you a brief understanding, this is a 3-compartment sling, and it's designed to, have a concealed firearm in it. What I like about this is that it really is the best combination both of function and capacity, as well as being well organized. If you guys have seen some of my previous videos, other bags tend to not come with so much where you have to kind of work to set them up, where this bag kind of does everything for you right out of the box, which I think is pretty cool. So before we get into this, just want to do a couple disclaimers. I just want to let you guys know that this bag was not sent to me. I did purchase this with my own money. So I like to let you know that you guys are going to get an honest, fair review. This is not going to be someone just who was sent a product and, telling you all the things you want to hear. I'm going to really pick this thing apart and let you know my honest, true feedback on it. Also, I want to let you know all the firearms in here are safe and clear. So you will see some B-roll, including firearms. Everything is clear. We will also include some B-roll at the range. It is a safe environment. So just to make sure everyone understands, everything we do here is according to the guidelines with YouTube. So what I want to talk about in today's video is basically what this bag is, in case you guys did not see the unboxing, how I have it set up, and then the things I think that works really well for this bag. I do have 2 critiques we'll go over, and then there is going to be one thing at the very end that I was really surprised that this bag ended up doing that I completely did not expect. So stick around. This is going to be a nice video, and I really think you guys are going to be pleased with this bag. It's probably one of my favorites, and might be my new forever bag, because if you guys have seen my past videos, I kind of rotate through bags every couple months because they're always missing something, and I think this one really checks all the boxes. So let's start with what this bag is. Obviously, in the name you hear, it's an 18-liter bag, which is a pretty good size, but I will say, surprisingly, it does not feel like a large bag, where I've had other bags in this size where when you start kitting them out, they get really bulky and really heavy. So you have 3 compartments. The first compartment up top here, this is really set up where you keep most of your EDC kit, right? So in here I do have a knife, a flashlight, a multi-tool, and a tourniquet. And honestly, it's set up so well here. There's more straps here. You could set this up any which way. You could have more in here, and I will say, since originally setting this up and slinging this thing around, tossing this in and out of the truck and doing all sorts of stuff with this, none of this stuff has ever moved or fallen out of these pouches. So I think the setup here works perfect. I love the retention in there, because that is one thing that kind of drives me nuts, is if you have bags that have pouches but they're kind of loose, where once you start moving around or, manipulating the bag, things start falling out. I hate that. I kind of think, what's the point if you can't put something in there and have it stay where you want it? So that pouch, to me, works out awesome. I know exactly what I need is right there. And then the main compartment up here is kind of where the magic happens, right? So this thing is set up in such a great way. I will move out my little med kit here. I have that in here. So in the opening here, you have a couple little pockets. You could put some pens. I could put most of that stuff from the front pouch in here if I wanted. I'd have an extra battery for my flashlight here. You got 2 zipper pouches. Often I'll use this, depending what I'm wearing. If I want to throw my wallet and keys, I can do it right in here. I know it's not going anywhere. You have more straps down here. And again, really, you have so much functionality in this pouch that you can really set it up a million different ways, and it's gonna retain everything where you want it. And then over here, you got a big pocket, could put a laptop in there, another pocket here, could put a tablet. Like, this is all hook and loop. You could throw a holster in here, hook to there. Like, it's really just, they really thought of every possible option on what you might want to do with this bag, and not only be able to put it in the bag, but also secure it and keep it neat and organized, which for me personally, I love that. That is it's something some bags really lack, that annoys me, because then you end up having to buy more things with the bag and then kind of rigging that bag in a unique way to make it work the way you want it. And I really think like this bag, just right out of the box, you have everything you need. I don't want to forget to mention, it does have this other pouch out here along the side. You could toss a water bottle in there. Pretty cool. You do have these two handles. Often I grab it by here, or if I sling it off, I'll hold it from here. And then you have this one on the back. I think that's incredibly well thought out. Some people might think it's overkill, but honestly, I've used them all the time. In the back here, you have very good padding. I'm actually surprised it still almost looks brand new for how much I've used this bag. It's pretty impressive. And then it does have a little opening back here, so if you're traveling, you could throw like your handle for your suitcase through there and kind of just mount it. Haven't done that yet, but it's cool that it has that option. Last but not least, we're gonna get into the compartment everyone is wondering about, and that is gonna be the CCW pocket. Now, I have not ordered it yet because it seems like when I check, it's out of stock. But you do have the option to throw body armor in here, which is pretty awesome. Would slip right behind here. And I think I'm gonna get it for this. You know, I've been eyeing up body armor for one of my bags for quite a while. Obviously, we can say I have commitment issues in the sense that I haven't yet found that bag that I'm like, yeah, I wanna spend another $200 on just body armor. But I think this is the one. This is actually what I'm gonna invest that into, because I see myself using this bag long-term, even though I will have future reviews coming out for you guys. So back here, got two extra mags. Like to keep them loaded up with the 124 HST by Federal. And in here, this fancy doodad here is the belt adapter panel. It actually comes with the bag, which I was pretty psyched about because that's like 25 bucks just to order by itself. And then we do have my Sig Sauer P226X. And yes, it is empty, it is clear. This thing has been living in this MSP holster by Tier 1 concealed. I gotta say, for the weight of that gun and the holster combo, when I first set this bag up, I really was wondering, because this is not a light gun, like was that gonna hold well? And especially in the bag where, you know, you can see I could clearly fit a whole lot more in here. And I will say this setup has worked phenomenal. This thing has not moved at all. Drawing from this bag has been very pleasant. No concerns at all. And I get it, before you guys beat me up in the comments, I understand from the waistband will always be faster. Got it. But there are people who prefer to carry off body, or for whatever reason need to carry off body. Fully gonna admit, there's days my lower back has killed me and the thought of wearing one in the waistband is just not happening. So having the option to carry off body is awesome. And ultimately, guys, it doesn't matter how you carry, as long as you carry and you're proficient and you're safe about it. So I'm not gonna argue with anyone about what's better. If you are being safe, proficient, and protecting yourself and your loved ones, that's all that matters. So those out there who want to argue about what is better and what's not, and if one is stupid, I'm not even going to go there, because that is such a waste of time. We should all be on the same side and all be pro 2A and supporting one another for the greater cause. So I'll continue my rant at another time. Sorry, doing that a little backwards than how the bag normally sits. So there you have it, guys. That is the bag, how I have it set up. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's a really minimalist setup. You're right. I personally, I prefer carrying a larger bag and carrying the bare essentials, knowing I have more room in the bag. Now, if you guys saw my Everly stock video for the Fade Sling, that bag, I had that set up, basically everything I had in here, in there. But that bag was maxed out. You couldn't add anything to it. So for me, having this one pouch that I keep primarily empty, I could throw anything in here. If I'm out and need to throw whatever, if I'm going to the range and need to throw eyes and ears in here, or God knows what. I can't even tell you how many times I've had miscellaneous stuff, especially as a dad with kids. You never know what else you're gonna be carrying with you. So having a bag that has extra storage available is amazing, because I learned firsthand, carrying a bag that I could only carry those things, I always find myself wanting more room, and then this kind of solves that for me. So let's talk about what I really like about this bag. Obviously, the overall size I think is great. Do I think for some this might be too big of a bag? Sure, depending on what you want to carry and how minimalist you want to go, this might be too big of a bag for some, but for me, I think it's awesome. What I really, really love is the organization. The way this comes with all the pockets and having everything retained and secure and staying in place, that just solves my inner OCD, man. I mean, like, I've definitely, you guys have seen other bags I've reviewed, and they either have little to none of options of how you're gonna set your kit up, or you're starting with a blank slate, which can be cool if you feel like then buying, 5 to 10 other attachments and rigging that out exactly how you want it. To get all of this in one shot, pay one time, and you're ready to go, that to me is priceless. So that is absolutely what makes this bag a great value in my opinion. Another thing I will say I'm extremely surprised by, for how much stuff I put in this bag, it carries extremely light. Now, I can't explain why. I have a theory, and that is how this sling is set up back here, how it kind of first goes up and then down. If you see it, the stitching, it has a very rigid part, it goes up, but this carries so well. The closest I have in size and shape to this is the Vertx Transit, which that one, as you load it out, kind of went more out instead of up and down, and that thing would feel really heavy. Now this also carries a little bit higher, so I think that's also a factor, is that having that weight shift up versus hanging down, it keeps it closer to my body. But I will say, for having that bag, oh man, I've had that bag probably 2 years now, and I've had essentially all the same things in there and transferred into here. The way they actually carry is night and day. This, hands down, to me, is a much more comfortable bag, especially on those longer days. So right there is definitely why I really like this bag, and all the features and how it's set up works. Now, unfortunately, I can't just sit here and tell all the praise. I got to tell you guys my honest feedback, and I think there's going to be two concerns. One of them, thankfully, does not affect me, but I need to consider everyone who might purchase this bag. So you can see the way the bag is set up. It's clearly designed to be worn on one side of the body. So I would not say this is very user-friendly for someone who's going to be carrying it on the left. I have other bags where they kind of have a strap down the center, and then you can hook on either side, and it gives you that option to carry from either side. This bag is really set up to be worn one way and to draw from it one way. So if you are left-handed, I could see that being an issue. Now, another concern, and this is really, I'm getting really nitpicky here, but I just want to be honest with you guys. Now, you'll see how I have this. Let me get this zippered up real quick. So when I'm wearing this across my body, if I sling this around to the front to get into here, say I have my wallet in here, If I open this pouch too far like that to get into here, it is a real pain. Well, naturally it doesn't, probably because it's sitting on the desk right now. But if I go all the way down and try to get this when this flap is hanging out, that zipper gets caught up and it's just a pain in the ass to get it to go back. I know. That's not a major concern. It's not a flaw in the bag. But I want to be completely transparent with you guys and let you know, like, I've really looked at this from every angle to give you the best full picture if you guys are going to spend your own hard-earned money on this. So those are the two cons I see. As far as how's the bag held up, minus it being a little dirty, I mean, there's really no sign of wear. The stitching is great. I really think, you know, it still looks very new to me. And I mean, this thing has been in and out of the truck, and I take it literally everywhere with me. So I'm pleasantly surprised. I really love the material that Vertx makes their bags out of. I would say that's probably, and this might be biased because it's the first several bags I bought were Vertx. That, to me, that material, it's almost like a canvas-like material. Like, it just feels durable. It feels rough. Like, I don't have that worry that, like, is something going to cut through it or is going to tear. Like, all my bags from them have held up pretty well. So last but not least, I really want to tell you about the one thing I was shocked when I got this bag, because when I purchased this, I had zero intention of this. But this bag actually fits my Sig Sauer Rattler LT, which to me is crazy because the bags that I traditionally have carried that in are so much bigger than this. The fact that I can fit that in this middle pouch is such a bonus. Like, it fits in here so well. I mean, it will poof this out a little bit more, and I got to move this med kit to another pouch, but it fits in here perfectly. It's not even like pushing on either end, and you could totally use this to set up with, if you wanted this to be your dedicated bag for that, you could use that third pouch and you can run your mags in there, which I think that is such an awesome bonus for the inexpensive cost of this bag. I think that's a phenomenal option, because if you're gonna carry something like that, you always want the smallest, most compact package. I've seen people carrying some ARs in different bags in videos, and it's like, it's so obvious. It's so gigantic and it's obnoxious. Like, to me, this thing is super discreet, super sleek. It stays compact, and you can hold so much in here. So I don't think this bag looks like something where someone's gonna see that and be like, oh, I bet that dude has an AR in there. So that was a really good, pleasant surprise. I think that about covers everything, guys. I do have a new bag video coming out soon. If you haven't seen it, stay tuned to check it out. It's gonna be a much smaller bag. We're gonna review that for a couple months, see how that compares to this, and see if I can get used to something a little bit smaller, at least with the thought of summer coming up. Nice to have a little bit lighter, although I haven't had an issue with this yet. So if there's anything I've not talked about or you specifically are curious about with this bag, drop it in the comments below. And also, if there's another bag you guys want me to get and review, doesn't matter the brand, as long as it's related to something where I can put, you know, all my kit in, let me know. I'm always wanting to check out new bags. I love learning about new products and new companies, so put that down below and I would definitely check them out. But I think this is everything I got for you guys. Stay tuned for the next ones. Peace.